Hello and welcome to this episode of Backyard Fitness and Stuff. I'm your host Wyatt, WN, YouTube rapper, YouTube reactor, cosplay nerd, overall enthusiast of a lot of things. I work at HEB. This is my variety channel, and that's me. And today I'm going to be showing you the process of my Demon Slayer box build, which came to a bit of a halt because of the whole pandemic thing. But I wanted to get out at least a part one of what I had done so far, because I think it's still really neat, and there isn't a whole lot more that I have to do to the box. That'll be more of a finishing touch and hardware episode for the part 2. I feel like it's coming along very well. Comicpalooza, which was also the convention that I was going to be wearing it to, got canceled, which is a hard blow to take for a nerd such as I, but that's okay. We'll get through this, we'll get past this, and the nerds will have conventions to go to once more. But without further ado, I just wanted to show you how the Demon Slayer box was coming. And whenever we're able to recommence, we will continue building the box, finish it up, and there will be a part 2. And then we're going to get dressed up in cosplay, even if that means just me and some friends going to a park and just barbecuing and having a good time in costume. So hope you enjoy the video, and yeah, that's it. Later.
So I had to charge the camera, but here's what you missed out on. We have been cutting some of the framing. We've got 3-foot pieces and 2-foot pieces to put Nezuko in. What we were doing, whenever we were ripping our 1x4s, like you see that one over there, we took and cut them all in half. So we used this table saw underneath it and ripped them in half, and then we used the miter saw to put the angles for 1x4s. Then you rip them all in half on your little table saw, and then the next step will be mitering the ends to have joints. And we use the miter saw. One little tidbit about the miter saw is that once you have your angle that you need, and this is like a carpenter trick, just go ahead and leave it on the angle that you need and flip your board so that you can do it the same exact way, because every time you switch the angle of your miter saw, your miter is going to be a little bit different. Even if it's super close, it's going to be a little bit different. Might as well have it the exact same. So I'll be with you in the next clip when we get to like screwing and gluing. We have our 4 sides that right now we have glued and stapled together just to hold them in place while we build the frame. And we have our 4 pieces. We haven't made the top and bottom yet, but we will. And I'll be back with you once we have the frame of our box.
Oh, wait a minute, that didn't go with the carpenter video.
I mean, carpenters have motorcycles. So there's your box, and we've reached a pretty good stopping point. We created a base, we hit screws, countersunk them, went all along the sides to make it more structurally strong, because that's where most of the weight's going to be going. We got the inside edges all put together, glued and screwed and clamped. So now we're going to let that set overnight, and we'll come back and we'll get a few more hours on it, probably put some sides, some triangular gussets. I'll see you guys tomorrow. So, time to catch you up before we get too far, show you how the box is looking. So we did, for a little bit of structural integrity, we added these gussets in the side, the corners I mean, rather. but not where the door is gonna be because they would get in the way. So be sure not to put your gussets on your door side. And then we've got some more framing here around the edges that the door also will not be at, to just give our plywood and stuff on the outside something to rest against. And yeah, I'll catch up with you guys in the next clip whenever we're doing other stuff. This is where our straps are gonna be, around my waist and around my shoulders, so that's where we want a lot of support. So we're doubling up the boards, one on the inside of the box and one on the outside of the box. So we're gonna attach all those, and we're gonna make little slits, probably with a router, where the straps are gonna come through. So seeing as how this is where most of the pull's gonna be, we want it to be as strong as possible. So now we're making our sides for the box that we got some plywood for. We're still gluing and stapling and measuring and cutting. When you're doing this, we're using a circular saw to rip the plywood, and you might want to go a little bit further than your edge, just so whatever it is, you'd rather have more of it than less of it. So whenever you get to your edge and you have a little bit of overhang, you can just go ahead and sand that flush. So it's looking more and more like a box all the time. We now have put a bunch of glue under our baseboard here, and I'm about to staple around all the edges. Yeah, there's those slats going across. I'll try to hit it in the middle and around the edge so this don't go anywhere, and we're probably gonna stop for the day, but this is day 2 progress. So a few more pieces have been cut. We've added a back. We added the outside part to where our door is going to be, and we've glued and stapled all of that together. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna stop for today because we're gonna need more glue, more staples, and we're gonna be adding a crown molding to the outside and the inside bits to cover up any gaps we may have and just give it a more finished look. And then that's pretty much gonna take a whole day because we're gonna have to get all the tools, the router, the outside of them, and then miter where the edges are gonna meet in the corners. I'll see you guys on trim day. So we took the saw here and we made our own crown molding, as opposed to buying more expensive ones that are already made at Home Depot. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this up, we're gonna miter the edges, and I'm gonna sweep up some stuff. So now we have our mitered and cut edges over the top, the sides, and the bottom here, and we may or may not go with a smaller trim. Now that we've done the front, we are going to do the same to the back, and then we won't have to miter the top and the bottom because we're going to do the front and the back, and then the middle pieces are going to go over just like that. And getting pretty close. Can't wait till it has a door on it and the hardware. It's gonna be sick. All right, so quick day 4. We put trim around the edges, front, back, side. So the next step we're gonna be doing is gonna be assembling the door. So the next time I see you, we'll be putting a door together. Okay, so now we've reached the point where we're starting to put together the door. We have our 4 edges that we mitered, and then we glued and nailed. We had to give it a little bit more structural integrity to this piece. So as you can see, whenever we took our edges on the inside, we routed the inside of the edge and the outside of the edge, which created a little lip, and that's how the door is sitting in the hole right now. And what we're gonna probably be doing for the next step, once we let this sit and let the glue harden, is we're gonna go and put another piece of wood, which we'll probably make a little bit fancier, but the point is we're gonna attach it to the edge so that it's flush, so whenever we put our hinges on the top and bottom, it'll open and shut correctly. So that's the end of day whatever Wyatt edits the day it is, and we have the door attached, and then tomorrow we are going to put hinges and then work with the straps, and then possibly go for a test walk with the little demon inside of the box and see how that works out.
So this is day 6, and as you can see, I have a box on my back. Also, the door has hinges now. So if you see there, it's got some hinges. We still have sanding and some more hardware, and eventually stain. And I need to put a strap around my waist so that it's less. See how it kind of has a little bit of wobble to it. We took and we drilled holes on the left and right for where we put the straps through, and then we used the jigsaw, which you'll probably have already seen some footage of that stuff getting cut. I don't know, Wyatt just edits what he wants to edit, so that may go in front or behind, but bro, I have a box on my shoulders. How cool is that? Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode of Backyard Fitness and Stuff. If you like that, or this, or any of this, leave a like. If you dislike that, or this, or you hate me, leave a dislike. And until next time, Backyard Fitness and Stuff. Woo! Nerds. Noni!